Okay, a bit more advanced stuff now. We're going to set up fixture offsets or work offsets. Basically, what you can do on your machine, you can have different zones on your machine. So, for instance, you can work in fixtures. So this would be a fixture, and we would have a 0 point set on this fixture there. So as X, Y and Z 0 point would be there. But we also want another fixture there that's got a different height, completely different height to it, and it's a smaller fixture and everything. We're going to class this one as G54 and this one as G55, and each one will have their own 0 points, separately, completely different to the other one. So at the moment, if I go, we're in G54, and if I tell it to go to 0, it's going to go to 0 and park up down there. Yep, so that's G54 fixture. Now I want to get to the 0 point for that, so what I do now is I go to G55, and I can do that a number of ways. I can just click on the buttons there, G54, G55, and you'll notice on the screen when I'm in G54 we're at the 0 point and all the zeros are work 0, 0, 0, 0. If I go to G55, I click on G55, those change. The machine coordinates stay the same, but the work coordinates have changed because the 0 point is in a completely different place. So now I'm in G55, if I click on go to 0 again, the machine's moving over now to the 0 point for that. It's going a bit slow because I've got the 4th axis connected up. So and I actually set the 0 point, I moved that by a mistake, but it was actually set to the middle of the material. So that's 0 in G55. So now I'm at 0, G55. If I go back to G54, you'll see the coordinates change again, and it's gone back to G54. G55, G54, G55. And you can do that for several different ones around the bed. You can also go into the offsets there. So if I click on G54, that will tell me where it's located, G55, where that's located. And they'll also tell me where they're located in reference to machine coordinates. See, if I go there, G54, the current coordinates are there, but my work offsets are there. If I go to G55, the current coordinates and the work offset are the same, because the current coordinates is still in G55, but G54 I'm in a different place. It's also a good idea at the beginning of a job, when you set the job, to save the offset. So you would do that by coming in here and clicking on save offsets. The reason for saving the offset is if something goes wrong. So let's say you're going to cut a 3 or 4 hour job. Come in, save the offset, because if something goes wrong in that point, you have a power cut or for any number of reasons, anything goes wrong, you can always get back in position. If you don't save your offset, your CNC gets shut down incorrectly by mistake, as in a power cut, you've lost your position. So if you save your work offset, you save your position, you can always get back there. So so again, now if I go back to G54, go to 0, and that's it. That is work offsets. It's not too complicated, too difficult, but it's very handy if you're working fixtures. So A lot of people would set a fixture up there and they'll cut them apart on that fixture, and then they'll move to a different fixture of a different height. So that could be 15mm MDF, that could be 25mm oak. Each 0 point is different. So what you could do, an example is you'd have 2 sets of code. So you'd have your code to cut this job and your code to cut that job. And what you can actually do is combine the 2 codes. A bit of copying and pasting going on in the files, but what you can do, you'll join the 2 files together. So you copy that file into that file, and between the 2 jobs you would type in G55, and when this job runs, it will run the job, cut them a thing, and then when it gets to the G55 it will change to that offset and then continue on with that job using that offset. Very handy feature. And you could have 6 different jobs, completely different thicknesses, all cut using one file. So right, thank you.